Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's show, in China's Beijing, city volunteers and employees from Taiwanese firms are coming together to pack relief items. In a new series of feature reports on Where Does the Water Go, we look at how Taiwan is troubled by the frequent rain and typhoons. And in our regular look at the island's bathing industries, we learn about the making of candied fruit in Yuanling of Jianghua County. We kick off today's show in China's Beijing. After surveying disaster areas, city volunteers are distributing relief items to help flood victims. The first relief distribution will help 5,000 households at the towns of Zhangfang, Qinglonghu, and Zhoukou. To prepare for the distribution, city volunteers and employees from different companies gave up their day off to pack 5,008 packs.
On July 30th, city volunteers held the first relief distribution to help the flood victims in Beijing. They traveled to the towns of Zhangfang, Qinglonghu, and Zhoukou to distribute instant noodles, bottled water, instant rice, blankets, and other necessities.
We are distributing materials in towns of Zhangfang, Zhoukou, and Qinglonghu. It's estimated that the distribution will help around 14,000 households, which is approximately 40,000 people. The value of donations is over $1.72 million.
With so much relief air to pack, some Beijing city volunteers sacrificed their time off to help. One Chinese company even volunteered their employees to help pack the relief items.
When you are packing these items, you have to remember that you are putting Tzu Ji's care and love inside the bag.
With the cooperation of more than 100 volunteers, 5,000 bags of necessities were finally packed and ready. On the next day, they will pack them up in boxes. The employees of RT Mart said they appreciate the opportunity to help over the past 4 days.
We may not be able to personally help at the disaster site, but packaging aid supplies is a way of helping. Our company has a social responsibility to help others. This is what we should do.
The volunteers' working attitude impresses the owner, who provides a place for packing.
We are touched by Tzu Ji's spirits. The volunteers are efficient and keep our place clean, which is worth learning.
4,000 blankets are flown in from Sichuan, and instant rice from Taiwan also arrived in Beijing a day before the distribution. Tzu Ji volunteers are transporting distribution materials to each area.
Today, we are going to deliver the instant rice from Taiwan to Zhangfang, Qinglongdong, and Zhoukou town.
Water drainage is a major problem in Taiwan due to the heavy rainfall it receives throughout the year and the mountainous makeup of the island. Making this problem worse is the overdevelopment of sensitive or potentially dangerous areas, which has led to unnecessary loss of life and millions of dollars spent trying to combat the elements. In our new series, Where Does the Water Go?, we take a look at how Taiwan and communities island-wide are trying to deal with the island's frequent and heavy rainfall. We first traveled to Lusan, once a famed hot spring resort, now a town that is better known for the constant threat of landslides and flooding due to the rapid build-up of sediment and gravel in Taluowan River.
I remember when I was young, it was about 1981. There were no houses here. Next to the river were huge rocks, which formed many deep pools that were filled with fish.
41-year-old Yang Shide grew up next to Taluowan River. For generations, his family has wanted to build a hot spring resort, but it was Yang that made that dream come true.
During the typhoons of Sinlaku and the Morakat, tons of gravel was deposited around the river. To match the height of the river, all the hotels filled in their basement and the first floors. What we see now is actually their second floor.
Although it looks like this car is taking a shortcut, it is driving where a bridge once stood.
With the accumulation of gravel there, the waters flow onto the road. Actually, there used to be a bridge here. Now it is because we just had a hard rain recently.
With each heavy rain, engineers work to find ways to drain the waters, which has caused major changes to the river.
In the old days, it was a very deep riverbed. The hotels and hot springs were built on higher land at the time. However, with the accumulations of gravel, the banks of the river have almost reached the level of the hotels.
Following Typhoon Morakot, the River Management Bureau took away much of the accumulated gravel, and you see that afterwards there was at least 4 to 5 meters between the river and the hotels. But looking at the river now, you see that the riverbed is only 1 meter below the top of the deck.
After every rain, we have to do a lot of dredging. The 9/1 earthquake led to a lot of landslides upstream. Afterwards, with every heavy rain, the sediment from these landslides was washed downriver.
If not for the reservoir, the problem with the accumulation of silt and the sedimentations would not be as serious.
The Usa Reservoir, nestled among the mountains and valleys, was once referred to by former President Jiang Jieshi as Jade Lake. Now, however, that same lake has turned into a lake of mud.
Right now, there is 92.7 million cubic meters of accumulated sediment in the reservoir, accounting for 64% of the total area. From last year October till this year May, we have already taken away 100,000 cubic meters.
Although government officials tried their best, compared to the power of nature, their efforts are simply a drop in the bucket. The hotels and hot springs of Lushan also faces another threat.
The section of the road has been fixed numerous times. You can see how the road rises and falls in different areas. The potential for a large landslide not only threatens the hotels at the base of the mountain, but also the entire Taluo-1 area.
This is a model of the north face of Mount Lu. It shows a simulation of a large-scale landslide. The amount of sediment would be about 26 million cubic meters, which would bury Taluo-1 under 100 meters of rock and earth, and that includes the hot springs and hotels on either side of the river.
With the constant threat of flooding and less tourists, residents are looking at other possibilities.
This is not a road that can be walked for the long term because seeing this river, we all know that its ability to discharge floodwaters is simply insufficient. In the future, all this sediment will return to the river.
Although many find it hard to leave, for Yang Shide, he has decided to open his hot spring in a different location.
If I don't take care of this problem now, my children or grandchildren will have to deal with it. Home should be a place of safety, but this is not a home. Every time it rains, we have to leave like refugees. It hurts me to say that.
Changes to a river's direction and flooding are simply nature running its course. It is only because of unwise human development that these become disasters. This problem is not restricted to the area around Busan, but is instead an island-wide problem. Tomorrow we travel to Taiwan's south coast to see how those living near the gulping river deal with the often temperamental river. To statistics, 70% of the public in Taiwan have seen a Chinese medicine doctor, and of which 60% are seeking help for musculoskeletal problems. Many patients will visit their traditional massage practitioner for treatments such as massage, cupping and guasa techniques. Many people are often confused with the difference between a Chinese medicine doctor and a traditional massage therapist. Thus, Taiwan's Health Bureau is enforcing a new regulation from December 31st, in which all massage practitioners will no longer be allowed to work in Chinese medical clinics. Traditional massage practitioner Chen Xingwen has been working inside this Chinese medical clinic for 8 years. However, he's about to lose his job.
Things will get more complicated when the government prohibits us from working inside clinics and instead gets us to work in the community. When we work in clinics, at least there's a Chinese medicine doctor here to diagnose the condition, so it is a guarantee to the patients.
Taiwan's Health Bureau specifies that beginning 2013, traditional massage therapists will no longer be allowed to work in hospitals or clinics.
It was great that traditional massage therapists could work in clinics. Now that we are forced to work elsewhere, starting a business requires enough funding.
The new regulation has these therapists worried. However, for those who already have a business of their own, they are not troubled.
When we are massaging the shoulders, we can't rub too hard because there are many important blood vessels around our neck.
With over 20 years of experience, Ye Chen does not have a Chinese medicine license, but he knows the human body like the back of his hand.
After a massage, I feel more relaxed and my muscles are not as achy as before.
Master Ye says traditional massage is based on making no injuries to the body.
In extreme weather conditions or when under pressure, the energy in our body won't flow smoothly.
Guasha, cupping therapy.
The Health Bureau does not recognize gua sha and cupping therapies as medical treatments. So what exactly is prohibited?
Traditional massage practitioners are not allowed to use invasive medical procedures or to claim to have certain effects, and they are prohibited from adjusting dislocations.
Despite soon to disappear from hospitals and clinics, traditional massage will be made available in our community.
After the government introduces the new regulations, it will force illegal practitioners to stop providing therapy and establish a legitimate system.
We hope that through attending classes and going through exams, we will be able to return to the industry quickly.
Many are questioned whether they know the difference between Chinese medicine doctors and traditional massage therapists.
Chinese medicine doctors are ones wearing the white gowns. Massage therapists are those just sitting by their clinic beds. Chinese medicine doctors do the diagnosis. Massage therapists only help with rehab.
As people may still be confused of the difference, many hospitals around Taiwan have already trained their doctors to carry out massage treatments.
The pressure point needs to be exact, and our diagnosis is important. Many massage practitioners will try to fix the problem, but they break the bones instead, or they give unnecessary therapy.
Though it is risky to adjust dislocations or spinal cords, some massage therapists are still providing these services to their customers.
Having the Chinese medicine doctor treating us, we won't have to worry because they will give us a sense of security.
Traditional massage practitioners helps patients relax. However, to treat an illness, it is still suggested that one seek proper treatment from a Chinese or Western medicine doctor. After all, maintaining a healthy body is priceless. On July 23, 2007, Taichung Tzu Chi General Hospital officially opened to the public, and since then it has guarded the health of city's residents. Over the past 5 years, Dr. Chen Zhiyong has been the superintendent of the hospital. However, he will soon become the honorary superintendent, and the superintendent of Dalian Tzu Chi General Hospital, Dr. Jian Shouxin, will be asked to take over.
Both mother and child were in a life-threatening situation due to a severe car accident. Thanks to the medical team in Taichung Tzu Chi General Hospital, both of them are safe and healthy now.
Thanks to the care of Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, my son and I are very healthy now, and he weighs 5,000 grams.
In the residents' minds, Taichung Tzu Chi General Hospital has been a cornerstone of health over the past 5 years. Now, Dr. Jian Shouxin of Dalian Tzu Chi General Hospital will become the new superintendent of Taichung Tzu Chi General Hospital, and the incumbent Dr. Chen Zhiyong will be promoted as an honorary superintendent.
over the past 5 years, we really appreciate Dr. Chen for his devotion and leadership, and his building of reputable preventive medicine and neurology departments in line with Master Zheng Yan's expectation.
We would like to send our best wishes to Dr. Jian for his contribution over the past 12 years in building up the reputation of Dalian Tzu General Hospital.
These two superintendents are role models, and volunteers present a wood carving to show their appreciation.
Over the past 5 years, Taichung Tzu General Hospital would not have been such a success without the sacrifice and devotion of all its colleagues and staff.
We will work together to make Taichung Tzu General Hospital an esteemed and extraordinary hospital.
Master Zheng Yan presents certificates of appointment to all superintendents to encourage their continuous efforts. It is hoped that the superintendents will continue to lead the medical teams of Tzu hospitals in bringing medical humanities to those in need.
After Dr. Jian Shouxing left the Dalian Tzu Hospital, Dr. Lai Ningzhen, a simple and trustworthy doctor, has been asked to take on his duties as the new superintendent.
Dr. Lai Ningzhen is taking on the leadership of the Dalian Tzu Hospital from Dr. Jian Shouxing.
We really hope that with the help of colleagues, we all have the heart of Bodhisattva, that the Dalian Tzu Hospital will change for the better. With the master spirit, we hope to incorporate Tzu's humanitarian spirit in our medical field.
12 years ago, Lai Ningzhen and his team came to the Jiayi area in order to help local residents who were suffering from lack of healthcare resources. Faced with his brother's rheumatoid disease, allows Lai to better identify with his patients and their families, and he's able to understand Master Zheng Yan's teachings better as well. Being confronted with a changing medical world, Lai Ningzhen looks forward to the changes and strives for perfection in order to maintain quality and care. He also hopes to spread humanitarian values and take on the task of safeguarding life and spreading love.
In our feature report on Taiwan Sunset's trades, we take a look at the candied fruit industry in the Baiguo Mountain in Yuanling Township of Changhua County. Since the area is home to many fruit farms, it has been the main source provider for candied fruit since the Japanese colonial period, and during its heyday in the 60s, the sweets were exported worldwide.
Driving along the Baiguo Mountain in Yuanling Township, one sees many candied fruit shops.
This is mango, plum, and this is tomato and olive. We also have guava and pineapple.
Most people have eaten or purchased crystallized fruits before. However, do they know the history behind it and where did the name came from? Mr. Rao, who has been familiar with the business for more than 90 years, shares his knowledge and experience in the trade.
We came up with the idea of candied fruits, so we didn't waste the excess harvest. We called it gamsamdi, which means salty, sour, and sweet in Taiwanese. But Japanese people thought the name was not that good and changed it to candied fruits.
The senior even demonstrated ways of making the sweet.
Before, we used big vat and stepped into it wearing straw sandals. Then like this 1, 2, 3, and 4 steps.
Early in the morning, a truck filled with fresh plums from Tainan arrives at the factory. Before getting washed, the plums are stripped off their leaves and branches. After washing, the plums are ready for sorting. The biggest plums go to the top, middle-sized plums go straight, and the little plums go down to the bottom. This candied fruit factory has been doing business for more than half a century. Rao Fangru, who is the daughter of Mr. Rao, married into Chen Bingcai's family 40 years ago.
40 years ago, everything looked new. Some of our pools had 1,000 kilograms worth of fruit, while some had even more. During that time, we had at least more than 100 workers, and our products were exported to various countries. It was very busy. Our heyday is gone. Our company is too old.
This is Rao Fangru's husband Chen Bingcai, who took over the family business when he turned 40. Soon after, the candy fruit business was hit by the opening of the Chinese market.
10 years ago, the wages to hire workers were low in China, so many companies moved everything there. We stay here because we had no other place to go.
Scooping the plums inside the 2 meters pool is Fu Kuntang, who has worked in this company for more than 20 years. During our interview with Mr. Fu, we realized that his feet are covered with colors. Removing her scarf, one sees a deep scar on Rao Fangru's neck. Born to a family that makes candied fruit and married to a family that has a big crystallized fruit company, the scar marks the hard work in her life.
I was walking and working, and the soreness in my shoulder got worse. I went to get an X-ray done and discovered that my spinal was bent.
When Rao Fangru turned 52, she met Tzu Ji.
As long as our company can pay our employees and help their families, that's good enough.
Now in the company, there are more than 10 Tzu Ji members and 2 Tzu Ji care recipients.
Mr. Chen treats us like his own family. He knows I need to support my family, so he doesn't mind if I have another job. He's very kind.
The story of the candy fruit factory not only tells us the bittersweetness of traditional industries, but also the joys and sorrows of these people who work day and night to produce the sweets.
As Typhoon Solo is entering the east coast of Taiwan, it is bringing strong wind and rain around the island. In the early morning of July 31st, the Tzu Ji Foundation has set up a disaster response coordination headquarters in Hualien. Master Zheng Yan also asks everyone to be cautious when traveling and care for those living in the neighborhood. Have a safe journey home. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.